To all who shall see these presents, greetings. Ruckdog here. Welcome back to Ruckdog Gaming and Captain of Industry. Last time we got iron production up and running, we got some basic oil production going, and we got our copper mining underway. And thanks to the research efforts we had underway, we managed to unlock Construction 2, which has granted us access to, among other things, the concrete production building. And we also unlocked conveyor belts. So we've got some exciting new things to play with there. And we also have some choices to make about our next research project here. And looking at the ones we have available to us here, I'm thinking probably irrigated farms will be the way we want to go. That'll help us boost our food production. Captain's office sounds enticing. This gives us some growth boosts and some food options, but we're going to want to be able to produce that food before we start trying to use more of it. So let's go ahead and get that selected. Now, I realized we made a little bit of an error. This is the mine for the coal deposit here, if you remember. And it is, well, the idea I had was that we would dig down and find some of this deeper coal that's here. You know, these gray boxes indicate how deep you have to go to get to the coal and that type of thing. And what I've come to realize is that producing our diesel fuel also requires coal. And that is going to be a problem because we're already pretty low on fuel. So if we don't start making our own and making some of our own fairly quickly, we could be in some real trouble. We've already got this warning about low diesel fuel here, right? So that means we need to reconfigure our mining area for the coal here. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to edit my area. And what I'm going to actually look at doing here is more or less completely removing all of this. For now. We'll probably return to that project at some point, right? And what I'm instead going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start this number here, right? And that should actually get us started on, oops, didn't mean to do that. That should actually get us started on getting some actual coal mine. So we'll go ahead and get that working, and that'll hopefully get us back in business over here. And then something else that a viewer mentioned in the comments is that each one of these is taking up to 12 oil apiece. And these wells here only produce 3, which means I need 4 of these to feed just one of these distillers, these basic refineries. So that's not ideal. What that means, though, is I can go ahead and pause this building for now, and I won't lose anything productivity-wise because I still don't have enough to feed even one of these. And I can build 2 more of these extraction wells, and that will allow me to start basically extracting enough oil that I can feed one of those distillers fully. And that's kind of the idea. So we'll build 1 there, and we'll build 1 there. And then we got to hook those guys up with some pipes. Transports, there we go. And just got to connect this guy up here. Yep, there's 1. Uh-oh. Oh, I must have built that too close. That's okay. You can just cancel that since I haven't actually started building yet. I'm doing all this pause, by the way, so that I'm not, you know, like fighting against the clock or anything. Don't want to get too stressed out. As soon as we get some of the stuff laid out here, we'll go ahead and hit play. Okay, so that should get all of that started well underway. So let's go ahead and start playing. And now everything is rolling out again. We should see our excavators heading over there to our coal. Yes, there we go. Okay, very nice. And then here's our parts coming in. Now, one of the things I also want to start looking at is conveyor belts, right? So we have these metal casters, right? They can either produce copper or iron plates. These happen to be producing iron. Make sure that they're producing iron. And then these are accepting iron plates, right? And so what I can do here is I can now use my newfangled conveyor belts, and I can hook up that production facility to a conveyor belt. Now, the advantage of connecting a production facility to a conveyor belt is that now the conveyor belts can do the work instead of my already heavily engaged trucking fleet. There we go. That'll get some of that going for us here. And yeah, so that's advantageous for us to try and take some of the load off of our trucking resources here. All right. Yeah, so you can see here that we're still short of some of the oil here. That's okay. It's coming. We'll be, I also see the problem here. I need to connect those pipes better. There we go. We are running a very, very small surplus of diesel right now. Oh, and we have somebody somewhere out of gas. Yep. So that's not good. Hopefully, well, I'm hoping a couple things will be able to save us here. First of all, I'm hoping that when we get some more refugees, those refugees will bring in some extra fuel with them. I've been noticing that's been happening, that as refugees come in, they'll bring, a little nice bonus or plus up of fuel. But I'm also hoping that our production is able to slowly get up ahead of demand. That's what I'm hoping. But that might be a little bit of a stretch at this point. We'll just have to see. Yeah, I'm seeing sort of a cascade of trucks running out of fuel, which is not good. Oh, there we go. Population, new refugees, 48 diesel. Yes. Hooray. Hooray indeed. So hopefully that little shot in the arm will be what we needed to get our input here self-sustaining a bit and get us actually to a point where we're not only producing enough fuel, but we're also producing a little bit of a surplus. Try and stay ahead of this problem here. That's good. We're seeing our number of pickups without fuel going down. Looks like this guy's just sort of humming right along. You can see how that 50-some fuel that we got from the refugees was just immediately consumed. It was like throwing a cup of water onto the desert. It also shows that we're going to need more electrical power. I'm loath to build another diesel generator because it's basically another hungry mouth to feed when it comes to fuel. But I don't know if I really have much of a way around that, unfortunately. Yeah, so it's a little touch and go right now. I might have to bank up and use some of this Unity I've got saved here to do a little emergency oil pumping. See, by doing it this way, it removes the need for me to have electrical power to collect the oil. And that's not ideal, but I kind of have to, I feel compelled to do it because otherwise I'm going to be in a sort of painting myself into a corner, essentially. So I can afford to do this for a few months, burn through probably most of the Unity that I have saved up, just to try and get ahead of this fuel problem here. I'm watching my Unity up here slowly tick down as this happens. I just want to see if I can get a little bit of a fuel surplus built up here. And then I can start looking at maybe backing off of this a little bit. See if I can push one more month of boosted oil production here. All right. Well, let's go ahead and remove boost. Remove boost and remove boost. And I'm hopeful that some of this fuel will wind its way up to my generators here. So the problem I've got right now is that it doesn't appear to be any fuel getting to my generators, which means I'm not getting any power. I'm not sure why that is the case, and why I wouldn't be getting fuel up there for those generators. I have some extra fuel. There's some fuel hanging around. I can only guess that the game is not prioritizing the generators for fuel, and I'm not sure if there's a way I can elevate them in priority. Interesting. So now I'm basically sort of stuck until my trucks decide that, oh yeah, taking fuel to the generators is a thing we do. Why do you have a full output? Ah, I see. Okay. Well, this is definitely a problem. I'm not sure if I am going to be able to recover from this or not. Because right now the situation I've got is I'm slowly draining all of my fuel reserves. I think I have no other option but to just burn all of my surplus there. I just realized I'm not getting full feed from all four. This one right here, because this is a one-way pipe, is not flowing the right way. So I need to build another pipe. It goes probably something like this to recirculate that fuel, not fuel, but that oil back up to this other line here. So we'll give that a try. Okay. So now I've officially used up all of my Unity. Oops. And so I'm not sure what to do at this point. This is not good, it looks like. I have, well, I've got enough people. I've got enough workers. I have enough food. But I am not producing really any oil, which means that my economy is destined to slowly grind to a halt here. Which is not ideal. It's not ideal. What to do? What to do? I'm not sure what to do. Of course, because I don't have any power, my maintenance is going down. Yeah. This might very well be a death spiral that I've managed to get myself into. So Yeah, way to go me. I didn't even get any of my conveyor belts completed. Well, isn't that a pickle? Well, coming next on the next episode, we start over, I think. I'm not sure if there's anything else I could do. All right, well, I'm going to take some time and I'm going to think through if there's any way to sort of salvage the situation. But yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good. Okay, so after a quick save load, I think I've managed to figure it out. So what I basically had to do was pretty much the same thing that I was doing before, except I had to pause a number of my production buildings. And that in turn sort of forced my production and my transport to start sending the oil more towards my generators and my other vehicles, right? So now it actually seems like we're sort of stabilized. I've got all 4 of my pumps going, feeding a single distiller that's now just churning away at oil. That's been able to keep my beacon going. So I think I might, big emphasis on the word might, be out of the woods now. So that was exciting in the oh god, we're all going to die sense of the word exciting. So yeah, well, I think we definitely need to start focusing on expanding our oil production capacity. Try and see if I can get this second distiller into action here. I've certainly got enough electrical power capacity right now that I can support that. And I definitely have enough to get at least one of these pumps made. Let's see here. Maybe rotate this guy around like this. Yeah. All right. So that should get at least those 2 going. Yeah, I mean, the moral of the story here for me is that you got to pay really close attention to your your oil and your diesel supplies, because if you kind of get behind the count, as it were, you are going to find yourself in a world of hurt, which we almost did, but thanks to a little lesson learned and a little bit of save scumming, we have averted disaster, and we are now back up and running. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to restart the mining of copper, because we are going to need some more of that for too long. And I might be able to unpause my production of iron now. All right, I think we are, like I said, kind of sort of out of the woods now. And what I'm doing is I'm slowly turning on a few different buildings that I had secured previously, just to try and figure out if I can, trying to keep myself from overextending again, because that was, like I said, almost really bad. So build some more rainwater collection capability here. So I'm looking at my water production, and I'm seeing a lot of not enough, basically. These pipes all hooked up here. Truck cannot find any trees to harvest. Interesting. All right, well, just have to unassign you from tree harvesting then. I mean, there are trees, dwindling number of trees, but there are trees. So I'm not sure why they're saying they're having a hard time finding it. Meantime, our open coal pit over here is doing its thing. Okay. Now at this point, I am going to go ahead and pause my population because I'm going to actually pause the game real quick here as well. So we are in a situation where we have recovered some of the lost humidity we had. We have 60 workers available, so we got tons of workers, which is great because I need to start expanding some of my production. And we need to start working on getting some concrete because we're missing some concrete. Food supplies hanging out okay. For now. Probably need some more of that. And then, at this point, to get more population, I'm going to have to expand my settlement, but I don't want to quite do that just yet. So for now, I think we'll stay there. All right. Well, and actually, I think we're going to go ahead and leave this video here. We didn't get nearly as far as I wanted to. I wanted to try and get into mining some sand, which would then allow us to start doing some concrete, which will allow us to do all kinds of cool things. But that little bit of a sidetrack there with running out of fuel sort of set us back a little bit. So we'll try working on the whole progressing down the tech tree and getting into concrete production a bit during the next video. Thanks for watching, and keep the comments coming. I really appreciate the tips and suggestions about various things that I'm sort of not doing right here in the game. I'm sort of learning it as I go, so keep those tips coming. And if you have any constructive criticisms or anything else that you think I could be doing better in the videos, by all means, I am willing to listen. Anyway, thanks again, and I will catch you next time. This is Ruck Dog saying good luck and good hunting.